Lancia LC2, Group C monster, hasn't run in 25 years.
This is our 14th running of the Heritage Exhibition.
Ready to go on the grid.
All the cars are good, they're all here, we're just wiping them down. Judging will probably start here shortly. Around February of last year, an opportunity arose to potentially buy a Lancia LC2. If you think of Lancia as a small company, but yet they were a dominant force in rallying, and they were a major force in sports cars, Group C, Group 6, Group 5. That's some impressive stuff. The LC2, big engine, fastest car, pulled a lot, much faster than the Porsches, but it didn't have the reliability because, quite frankly, they didn't have as many cars on the grid, so they couldn't work through the reliability issues that Porsche did. I mean, Porsche made a lot of 962s and 956s. They had a lot of those cars. They made 9 of these. They built 7 cars and 2 continuation cars. So it was 7 Martini Works cars and then 2 continuation cars. This car was in America, and I had an opportunity to buy it. It sounded like a lot of money for a car that hadn't ran in 25 years. So suffice to say, is that car was sold, and it was bought by a gentleman in France, and then the opportunity presented to buy it from the gentleman in France. So I ended up paying about 30% more. But I bought chassis number 1. 7 cars, chassis number 1. A lot has happened between the Heritage last year when I ran the Beta Monte Carlo and where we are now. We're up at Andy Green's shop in Savannah, Georgia, and Andy prepped the Beta Monte Carlo for us that we ran in Daytona last year. So called up Andy and said, Andy, I've got a project for you. What's the project, John? Lancia LC2, Group C monster, hasn't run in 25 years. And oh, by the way, I want to run it at the Heritage, so you don't have a lot of time. This is the heart and soul of it. It's a 3-litre, this is not the 2.6, this is the 3-litre Ferrari V8. Depending on how much boost you give it, 600 to 950 horsepower. We're going to probably run it at about 600 horsepower. But as you can see, the engine's an integral part of the chassis of the car. You got the monocoque up here, then you got the literally bolted onto the back of that. You've got the engine and the transaxle, which is sort of rear axle and gearbox combined.
It has the motor that it ran with last, and it was. We did the leak down on it, we did everything to it, took it apart, made sure everything was great, and we were just astounded how perfect the motor actually was.
Absolutely beautiful piece of engineering from 1983. It looks as contemporary as anything else out there. But the other reason we're up here today is we have the Abarth Classic A guys in from Italy. Now what these guys are, it's kind of an offshoot of Ferrari Classic A, which means the factory comes and inspects your car. They say that this is the car. And I gotta tell you, it was pretty exciting stuff because he could look at the car, tell you stories about the car. He's gonna look at it, he goes, that was welded by this guy, that was put in by this guy, this engine was done by this guy. So he knows the full story of these cars. Yeah. So you got all the secrets. So we'll test the car with Andy, make sure the car's up to speed, and then be prepared for Daytona.
We started it last night, first time.
Start the whole motor. So we can actually start this bad boy?
You can't. We've got a misfire on one cylinder that I haven't sorted yet, but yeah, it'll fire right up if you want to hear it.